Great. Hello there. My name is Victoria Dioh. Welcome to Manifesting Your Life Through Menopause. Now, if you're here, it's because you have either thought to yourself, I am experiencing the symptoms of menopause, or you know someone who is, or you're experiencing perimenopause, or you've got symptoms and you're trying to figure out what's going on. And this masterclass is one for you to just have a look at it from a completely different perspective. So my name is Victoria Dioh, and my business is called Manifestation Kitchen. And I'm just going to introduce you, but I'm also, introduce myself, should I say, but I'm also going to use these slides to help you and guide you through this. Now, if you are watching this on replay, then if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, drop me an email, and you can then get all your questions answered. So first and foremost, I'm going to introduce myself. So this is called Manifest Your Life Through Menopause. And my name is Victoria Dioh. Now, a bit about me, I help you to fall in love with your life. And what does that look like? I have a heal method, which I'm going to talk to you about later on. And I use that to create life design strategies for leaders like you so that you can fall in love with life again. I think there's this misconception that if you have a great job, if you have all the money in the world, that it equals to money or happiness. And that's not necessarily true, because somewhere along the line, we have dips and highs, and we have conflict, and then we have harmony, we have misalignment, then we have alignment. And I'm here to help guide you through that process so that you don't self-sabotage, so you don't feel as if you are just existing in life. So I am not, full disclosure, I am not a menopause expert here. However, I am an expert at creating life design strategies for people who have gone to create amazing lives for themselves. But also, I just turned 50, believe it or not. And last year, I experienced perimenopausal symptoms, and I thought I was losing my mind. I was working on a client site, and I could barely remember my name. It was almost as if I was on autopilot. And I was just surviving. I felt as if I was lying to my client because I was just surviving and just trying to keep myself getting from one day to the next. That's not how I live my life. That's not how I intend to live my life. Now, when this started to happen and I started to see the effects that it had on me, I was going into meetings. I couldn't speak coherently. I couldn't remember what I'd been asked to bring to meetings. It was horrendous. I decided then to become my own client. I'd already helped several women like yourselves to fall in love with their lives, whether it was through their menopausal journey or whether it was through whatever stage of life that they were going through. And I made very quick changes in my life that completely transformed it. I went back to being the bubbly, happy Vic. And the honest truth is, I don't experience any menopausal symptoms at the moment. Now, I'm not saying that my body isn't going through its natural biological phase. What I am saying is that it's not affecting me to the point where I feel as if my life is not my own again. And that's what I'm here to tell you today. I'm here to help you, to show you what's possible. And then at the end of this, I'm also going to show you ways where you can work with me a bit longer to create the life that you truly desire. So just give me a second. This is a bit that I enjoy there we go. So I want to talk about intuition because that is my superpower. Intuition. I'm great at intuition. And the reason why I'm bringing this up here is because as women especially, our intuition is second to none. when we choose to use it. And when you're going through this phase of the menopause, what it then tends to do is, if you treat your journey with care, with intention, your intuition will soar, which means whether you own a business or whether you work for a business, you will also see that the company will start to benefit from your wisdom. So don't underestimate the ability and the impact of your intuition. Now, these are some facts that I want to take you through. There's quite a few, but I want to talk you through this because these facts are real. These are based on research from around 2021. So a couple of years ago, and I'm sure the figures have now increased. The first and foremost is that the average woman in the UK to reach menopause is in her 51 years. But you can start your menopausal journey in your 20s without even realizing it. And some of those symptoms or some of those effects can be things like hair loss, brain fog, depression, and so much more. And that's why I'm having this conversation, because I don't think a lot of women know they're going through menopause. And then when they do, it's like a shock to the system and they can't handle it. So this is a huge figure. It says in 2021, the UK approximately had 15 million women aged 40 and above who could have been experiencing or approaching menopause. And that alludes to what I said before. Not everybody knows that they're going through these symptoms. Why? Because we're busy, we're rushing around. You know, some of us have kids, husbands, partners, businesses. You haven't got time to sit there and go, oh my goodness, am I going into menopause or not? So it's very easy to ignore it. It's very easy to put a patch over it, you know, put a plaster over it. So say, for example, if you're losing hair, you just go and find something that can help your hair grow. You're not thinking to yourself, this could be a menopausal issue. I know I've been there. So it's very useful to be more aware. And what I'm talking about today is about creating that level of self-awareness so that you control the circumstance as opposed to the other way around. One of my most popular sayings is that don't allow the circumstance to dictate your outcome. This is where you take ownership. So take a car, for example. They always say, make sure that you take your car to the mechanics. Don't let your car take you to the mechanics. Because by the time your car's taking you to mechanics, it means it's broken down somewhere and it's going to cost you a fortune. But if you keep on maintaining it, then your bills aren't going to be that high. Around 80% of women experience menopause symptoms. That's a high amount. And about 25%, I think that figure is higher, find them severe or debilitating. Sometimes when I walk out in the street, sometimes you'll see women just walking around in a daze. And your heart goes out to them because you know that they're experiencing something absolutely traumatic, probably not even realizing what's going on. And unfortunately, in the workplace, this is not recognized. It's not recognized enough. So those kind of conversations have started to happen, but it's not recognized enough for major changes to be taken. So I used to have a member of staff who literally had to have the whole week off because her pains were so debilitating she couldn't move. And this was during her period, but she was in her late 30s, early 40s. And she has to take that out of her annual leave. It's not seen as an illness. So you're expected to have the same amount of annual leave that a man will have, even though your body goes through so many changes. And sometimes you can't physically perform. And when you do perform, you're doing it under duress. And if you have somebody who doesn't understand what you're going through, you're being seen as either lazy, or not a team player, or difficult, or so much more. And I'd love for you to be able to, message me and let me know which part of this resonates with you. A lot of you are going to watch this on replay, but this is a conversation. This is an interactive conversation. So I want you to be able to either type in the comments and tell me what resonates with you as I'm talking about this. Do you have staff that are experiencing this? Is this something that you've gone through? Is it something that you're going through at the moment in the workplace, in business, and you're not sure how to manage that? So menopause symptoms can last anywhere from a few months to several years. That's a long time out of somebody's life to be in pain, to be unhappy, to not be in love with your life, to feel unfulfilled. And it's very easy then to settle. It's very easy to settle into a life that isn't even yours. And I'm here to tell you that you can have that life. You can have whatever life you want. You can have whatever life you desire, any life you love. It's possible. But when you're in that state where you're feeling as if it's a debilitating illness, you can't see the woods for the trees. And I'm here to tell you that you can have whatever you want in life. So common symptoms are hot flushes, night sweats, and they affect about 75% of women. Again, I think that's so much more. I know so many women at the moment who are around my age who aren't sleeping. They're just not sleeping. And imagine then having to drive somewhere or look after somebody or being given a multi-billion-pound project to manage. Imagine what's at risk if you're not sleeping, if your body temperature isn't aligned, if you don't feel great about yourself. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to your colleagues, you owe it to your family to look after you, to receive, to believe that you are worthy of a more enriched life and knowing that it's possible. About 60% of women go through menopause and they struggle with memory, concentration, decision making. So imagine just turning up. Imagine just turning up at, I just got a message there. We don't talk about menopause. No, we don't. We don't, Fiona. We don't talk about menopause in the workplace. And we should. Oops. We should be talking about work. Oops, 1 minute. I love it when my what's it called? When my PowerPoint starts going funny. We don't talk about it enough. And it's so sad. We should be able to have lunchtime chats. We need to be able to have spaces where somebody can go, do you know what? I'm not feeling myself today. I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling dizzy. And my appetite isn't right. I can't remember anything without feeling as if you're a freak, you know? And that's what people think of you as well. People feel I've had conversations or been in a space where people have undermined people because undermined women because they don't believe that they're up to scratch in their job. And then when promotions come through, the women get overlooked. But guess what? These women were always good at their jobs beforehand. So obviously, the common denominator is the menopausal symptoms. So decision making in a job, if you've got menopause or if you're going through menopausal symptoms, you're going to struggle with decision making. You're going to struggle with concentration. So it's very easy to be misjudged. We need to change the narrative around this. Absenteeism. I think this number is so much higher. So much higher. But then because you're being given a set number of days and also you're being criticized if you take time off, you get people coming into work or coming into businesses in an unproductive state. But this is a survey carried out by the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development. 10% of women, I think it's a higher number, to be honest. Now, this is a big one. When I saw this, I couldn't believe it. 3.7 billion is the cost of menopause in the UK. So if you're coming into work or you're running a business, it means nothing because you're not going to be productive. And that lack of productiveness cost the UK 3.7 billion. That's $4.9 billion. When organizations start to see these figures, they might just start to pay attention, don't you think? 63% of women believe that they didn't have appropriate support or appropriate policies in the workplace. 63%. I'm sure it's higher. I'm sure the other women who didn't respond just couldn't bring themselves to respond to this survey. I honestly believe so. So it's time for us to call for change. And these are some of the organizations who've asked for change, and it can't come soon enough. And this is why I'm having this conversation, because I've been that person who's experienced a small amount of it. I think I got away with it very, very luckily, because of the skills that I have, because of my approach to life, because of my expertise in helping people fall in love with life and creating life design strategies. I was able to transform my life very, very quickly. I know a lot of friends who are still deciding whether they want to become clients or not, and they're still struggling. They're very emotional. They feel as if they live in a shadow of their life. They're in relationships that don't serve them because they just are not themselves. So I want to talk to you about my HEAL method. And my HEAL method is what I created to make it easier for you to understand how I work with you. So the H stands for energy healing or distance healing. And I use that for clients. And also we have amazing protocols for the menopause. It's something that can be done remotely. It's actually the cheapest way to work with me. But when we do this program that I'm going to talk to you about, you are going to get sessions where I'm going to do this for you. So we're going to help to do some healing around your menopause. The E stands for eat, intuitive eating, intuitive food, looking at food that serves you. So, for example, you've got a takeaway or you've got fresh food. And whilst I understand that in some cases takeaways can be convenient, if you don't know what's going into food energetically, then that can also affect your symptoms. So it's about mindfulness and creating that mindfulness within you and helping you create an intuitive food plan that serves you. The A stands for abundance. This is where I take you through my modern manifestation methodologies and teach you how to receive. As women, we have a very bad habit of receiving. If somebody gives us something, we always think it should be given to somebody else, or we ask ourselves why they gave it to us, or we're very quick to say, oh, no, you shouldn't have. Who's done that? I know I have. So the A allows you to receive. So even if you're sat here right now thinking to yourself, do you know what? Yes, I'm experiencing these symptoms, but I think I'll be okay. Or I've been struggling for a couple of years. I'm sure the symptoms will go soon. Excuse me. That's a symptom of not receiving. When you turn down help, when you are obviously in pain, when you're struggling, when you're desperate to find a way out, and yet when the help gets offered to you, you turn it down, that is a huge symptom of not receiving. So that's what the A stands for. And the L stands for self-love. Yeah, exactly. We don't receive. It happens all the time. Funnily enough, I run the Business Oracle program on a Tuesday night. Yes, this isn't the only program that I run. And this is where I help women to connect to the soul of their businesses. And it's only got to around week 4 where some women have started to go, do you know what? I really deserve this. And as soon as they can switch over that mindset, they start to attract great opportunities in their life. You're still undeserved, you're still alive. and you're here for a reason. Whether you work in an organization or you own a business, you have a purpose to fulfill. It is your divine right to serve in this world, whether it's as a mum, whether it's if it's as a manager, whether if it's as a healer, whatever that looks like, you were put on this earth for a reason, and it's your duty to find out what that is. And the only way you're going to do that is if you start opening yourself to receiving. So that's the heal method. And I blend a lot of that. I blend a lot of that together to create the recipe of your life, as well as healing words. You know, we're going to be talking to you, helping you through, a bit like what I'm talking about now. You'll find that the energy of my voice will help you and take you to that space that you need to connect to that vibration that you're going to connect to, so that you can move through this phase and get your life back. No, I'm moving backwards. Okay, so again, I want to talk about the importance of your intuition, because once you go through the heal method, your intuition will definitely increase. It will almost lighten up. And here's the thing, your intuition is your second greatest gift from God. Whatever you believe in, it is. So after your breath, your intuition comes. So you're born with your intuition. That's why babies are so alert, because their intuition is second to none. Once we start to have our senses conditioned, when we get told what to do, how to think, where to be, and everything else, we start to lose our intuition. But if you look at some of the most successful businesses out there, some of the most incredible creators, if you ask them what the secret is to a lot of their work, they will tell you it's their intuition, gut instinct, and knowing. Same thing. So with your intuition, look at the amount of change that you can bring in your environment, in your home, in your workplace, and so much more. And because I work like this and I live like this, my life is very abundant. I create a lot of opportunities. Today, for example, I got approached to speak at an event that I had no commitment to speaking. Great event, great publicity. Just approach it like that, because I come from a space of higher vibration. This would not happen if I was experiencing menopausal symptoms the way that a lot of women experience it. Then there's also the element, did I skip one? Let me just see. Yeah, no. So there's also the element of happiness as well. You know, that if they can connect to their intuition, then professionally they'll be happier. 70% have said that. All these figures that I'm giving you are from live surveys that have taken place. So this is true data. I think this is from Harvard or something. And then even most importantly, your intuition, when you can connect your intuition because you've taken away the impact of your menopausal symptoms, you become more creative. You become more creative for you, for your family, for your businesses, and so much more. For the companies that you work for, you start to add more value. You start to really look at what it is that you truly want to do. You stop settling. You stop settling for the status quo, and you become more dynamic. So I want to introduce you to Manifest Menopause Mastery. Bam. And that's my new program. Now, this program is here to help you to achieve what I've just spoken about. Now, it's a 4-week program, and it's here to talk about your menopause transformation. It's here to help you to change the narrative around menopause, where you get support. You're going to get weekly support from me. It is a 4-week program. We're going to spend a minimum of an hour, a maximum of 2 hours with each other every week. You're going to be highly immersed in the heal method. We're going to look at everything. We're going to look at your state of mind. We're going to look at what you're experiencing right now. We're going to look at how life is in general. We're going to look at your whole life. And I'm going to give you the tools to help improve all of those. You're going to have a free Facebook group where you're going to be able to come in and ask questions at any time of the day. You're going to have continuous support in there for the next 4 weeks. And then what I'm going to decide to do is how I can support you after that in a way that you still feel looked after and you feel like you can go out into the world. The reason why I'm saying 4 weeks is because I actually transformed myself in a week. So I'm giving you 4 weeks and we're going to go through different elements of the Manifest Your Menopause Mastery. The next thing we're also going to do is I'm going to teach you how to attract things into your life, how you can make life work for you, how to increase your vibration. And I'm going to teach you how to do that in whether you've got a business or whether you work for a company. I'm also going to work with you and do some exercises. We're going to do a lot of meditations. We're going to do a lot of mindfulness work. But all of this is so highly powerful. And the reason why I know it's powerful is because clients of mine who've done other programs where we've done similar meditations have gone off to do incredible things in their lives. Now, I haven't put any testimonials in because I'm the only person that I have worked with on this menopausal journey and made this transformation. However, what I can tell you that there are hundreds of women and men who have worked for me. And actually, just thinking about it, we didn't put it in the sales page. So I'll add that into the sales page so you can see a bit of what it's like to work with me. But they have gone away and created incredible, abundant lives. Because you see, mindset isn't discriminatory. You can have mindset for anything that you want. And you can definitely have mindset around your menopausal journey. If you are in a space where you believe that you can't get out of the situation, then your brain is designed to prove you right all the time. So if you believe that you're never going to get out of it, then guess what? You're right. You won't get out of it. So this is where I'm running this masterclass to help you shift that way of thinking, to go, do you know what? Yes, I need to do this. This is something that's really important to me. So this is a great example, and I love this. This is a slide that I use all the time in my presentations because it pretty much is a client journey of how I work with you. So this is where you are right now. And that's not derogatory or anything. That's just a fact because you're not using your intuition. You're literally just getting on with life. You're getting on with life, and today will end, tomorrow will come, the next day will come, blah, blah, blah. So the way I work with you, so all these waves are waves of my energy and how I work with you to the point where you start to get a higher vibration and you start to be more aware and start to create more creative and abundant situations for you. Oops. I'm going to trigger happy again. And then you go on air. When you're on air, that's when you create situations that feed for you straight away. That's when your menopausal symptoms become a biological occurrence, but they don't become a hindrance in your life. So this is where you then connect to the empowered you. This is your opportunity. And before I go into questions, I just want to tell you a bit more about the program. So the program, just bear with me a second. If I stop sharing, then I'll go into another one. So the program starts in not October. The program starts in August. So in about 2 weeks' time. It is definitely a 4-week program. And this is where So I'm just trying to share this with you. So just bear with me a second. So funny trying to do all these shares. Just bear with me a sec. Great. Okay. There you go. Right. You should be able to see this now. So it's my phone. Yep. So this is Manifest Menopause Mastery. And all it's saying here is that I see you. I know what you're going through. Okay. I know what you're going through. And it's up to you to create and achieve that fulfillment. And I am your guide for this. I am going to help you to heal. I'm going to help you to nurture your body, your mind, your soul, your abundance. I'm not going to get you to a level that you're not even going to realize or recognize yourself, because you are going to be at the most top shape of your life intuitively. You're going to realize how much stronger you are. You're going to really connect to your essence. And these are the modules that we're going to talk about. So we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about energy healing. We're going to do the healing for you. I'm not going to give you the techniques, but I'm going to use the techniques on you to help you to balance your life. I'm also going to talk to you a bit more about food, and also how it affects your mood, and also help you, work with you to create your own bespoke intuitive eating plan. I also want you to understand more about abundance mindset, the art of receiving. It's a huge thing. I absolutely swear by it. I even have a free meditation that I created a couple of years ago, and it has had the most incredible results with it. When people listen to it, it really opens up their mind and gets them to start manifesting so much more in their life. We're going to be talking about goal setting and vision boarding, because let's face it, when you are going through your menopausal or perimenopausal symptoms, you're not thinking about goal setting. You're just thinking about, how can I get through today? So I want you to amplify your power of manifestation. And then we're going to talk about self-love, self-acceptance. We're going to do some meditations. We're going to go really deep, and also we're going to address the gaps that you've had in the 4 weeks and close them down. So one of the things that I always do with my clients is, nobody leaves unless we have closed everything. So nobody leaves thinking, oh my goodness, I should have asked of that, and oh, I didn't get that. No, we make sure that everything is addressed. And that's why I say that my sessions start from an hour to 2 hours, because if we need to stay for 2 hours to get this rectified, then we'll do it. So I'm quite strict about that. So this is where I'm asking you to join me. The program starts on the 2nd of August. Now, I'm very mindful of the people that join this. So depending on the people that join this, we may either have an afternoon session around during lunch, or we may have an evening session. And this is the reason, intuitively, I believe that if you're going through your menopausal symptoms and you're at work during lunchtime, you may just want to be able to just take that time out and feel rejuvenated afterwards. Or in the evening when you come home, it may be a time where you think, you know what, I don't have any distractions. I normally run my sessions in the evenings, but I'm going to keep this open, but it is going to be and start on August the 2nd. Cart closes on July the 19th. So cart opens today, and I'm going to share the details of the cart shortly. It is $397, and that is my early bird price, £397 for 4 weeks. Now, here's the thing, it will never be that price again. And the reason why I'm doing it at that price is because it's the first program I'm doing on this. I know that it will become a very popular program, because I've already had a lot of interest. A lot of people have already registered for this, and a lot of them haven't turned up because I know that they're busy doing other stuff, but I know they'll pick this up later. So I have no intention of running this at this price again, because I want it to be taken seriously. Now, you do have some offers that I want to put out for you. So if you purchase this program in the next 24 hours, I will work with you to discover your purpose. Now, if you've ever worked with me before, you know that I do not charge $397 to discover your purpose. I charge so much more. So I will do a group program and work with you where you discover your purpose. And working with me in a group is very similar to working with me one-on-one, because I give you your full attention until you understand what your purpose is. And I know how to help you find your purpose. I've done it several times before. When you see me and you see that I'm glowing, it's because I'm in my purpose. That's why I create the life that I do. And then if you buy within 48 hours, there's a 48-hour bonus, which is my program. It is an evergreen program called Manifestation Marinade. And this is a detailed program teaching you about all the principles about manifestation that nobody tells you about. So a good example is the law of karma, for example. You get people who want the world. You get people who say, oh my goodness, I'd really love to, I don't know, own a big house, or I'd really love to buy a really big car. And yet when you see how they show up in life, they're rude, they're in conflict all the time, they're never happy, and yet they don't understand why they can't create the life that they love. Nobody tells you about that. Online especially, you will see manifestation teachers who will sprawl themselves across a yacht or a car and tell you, just visualize that you can get this car. It takes a lot more than that. And that's what Manifestation Marinade does. It really goes deep into manifestation. It goes deep into why you're not attracting the life that you want. And a lot of these are almost common sense, but you've just never thought about them. Nobody's talking about it because it's not sexy. But these are the things that will completely transform your life. Clients who have discovered their purpose have had incredible sales in their businesses. They have generated a lot of income in their lives. They have had more aligned families. They have connected more with family members than they ever have done before. And clients who have done Manifestation Marinade have created opportunities, not just for themselves, but for their children, for their husbands. And I know one client in particular who is so busy right now, she can't even book time to speak to me anymore because she's overbooked. Overbooked. This is a woman who came to me who had no business. And by the time she'd finished Manifestation Marinade, discovered her purpose, and done another course with me, her first client paid her $3,600. And now I know she's definitely got more than one client. So this works. So I am going to put this link in the chat. And then I'm also going to save this and share it with you in your emails so that you've got access. You've got access to this. Now, the early bird runs out in, I think it's in about 5 days' time. So the last couple of days, the price will go up. Okay. So if this is something that you are interested in and you think to yourself, I could really do with this, then book on. Now, if you are in an organization and you think to yourself, do you know what, this is an organization thing and I'd like to have a conversation with you, Victoria, then message me and we can have a deeper conversation, because then we're talking about multiple humans. However, what I will say is that nobody's talking about menopause like this at the moment, because everybody's trying to come through from either a medical perspective or from a coaching perspective. I'm coming from a healing perspective. I'm coming from a mindset perspective. Any questions? Let's see. No questions. Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And like I say, I know a lot of you registered for this and couldn't make it. So I will be sending this recording to you shortly, where you can watch it, respond. You can respond to my emails, ask me any questions, and I will speak to you soon. Namaste. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye.